Yo, what's good? What's going on? It's your boy, iLoveYourvisuals, with a tutorial for you beginners. Not only for you beginners, intermediate too. You want to know how to make your photos great. You want to know how to make them better. Cool, I understand that. That's why I'm here to help you and teach you with a few basic lessons and steps to get your photos looking great. Get clients to book you. Get clients that wonder, when can you take their photos? Are you available this day, that day? Hey, your photos are amazing. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to go ahead and show you the steps to what to do. So, I have some black and whites. Different angles were taken with them. Jeez Louise, I did delete that photo, and it was an accident too. I wonder if I can bring it back actually. Let's see. Let's see. Alright, there we go. Awesome. So I'm going to bring some photos back. I accidentally deleted. We're going to keep a couple of them. Let's keep that. Let's keep that as well. We can delete these. We'll keep that too. I just released a pack. It's called Black and White Bundle, and it's going for around 20 bucks. You can find it on my store. Link will be given in the bio. Right now, let's just go ahead and reset this. Just gotta get the camera out of the way. Boom. So I'm gonna reset this. As you can see, it's just flat. Random picture that I took outside downtown in my city of a Mustang GT. So let's go ahead and get into it. Right now we're gonna play with the exposure. Just go ahead and brighten it up, get it looking nice, get it looking pretty, get it looking real pretty, and then we're gonna play with the clarity because we gotta add that sharpness. I'm an attention to detail type of person, so I like to see the little raindrops. I like to see the frog go across the street, ants, all that, whatever, don't matter. So, we got that situated. You can play with the contrast. It's only just gonna darken your picture, and certain areas just give that more like cinematic look. Just add that little cinematic look. But I'm gonna play with it anyway. And now you have the temperature, the tint, stuff like that. As far as the overall picture, like the color of it, you can change it to blue, or you can change it to brownish. So we're gonna actually try to play with the tint. We're gonna give it that nice. Let's see, We're gonna give it that nice brown look, to give it that movie cinematic look, like it's a Mustang just coming out of the desert or a highway patrol chase, whatever. So we're gonna play with that. And highlights, basically, it's just, you see the brighter areas. You can use it to tone it down if you just more so want to focus on the car, but if you want the overall car to shine or the subject to shine, or if it's too bright outside, you want to turn your highlights down. You want to play with your highlights if it's too bright, and your exposure. Those two go hand in hand, so you definitely want to play with those two. But for me and this car, because it's a car, not a person, I'm going to turn the highlights up just to give it that more you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to turn it up just about to 13. I think that's okay. I'm going to play with the exposure a little bit, bring it down. So right there. Clarity, I'm going to boost it up again to 60. We'll play with the vibrance too. The vibrance would just be basically like the colors. As far as the saturation too, I don't really play with saturation unless I'm going for a natural look. So I just play with the vibrance. Like when I say natural look, it's just like I'm not looking to use the brush tool or anything like that. So I'm going to use just the vibrance. So boom, got that going. Nice. Now another thing you can do to spice the photo up is play with the brush. And if you're on Mac, you use your little scroll wheel on your mouse just to scroll it up and down, or you can just come here to size. Now say I'm drawing, I don't see nothing, I see what I'm doing, but say you just want to honestly see what you're marking. So you're going to press Command Z just to undo all that, and when you hit the brush, it's going to open up a new settings, same settings as before when you was working on the picture, but the brush has its own settings. So I'm just going to set that down to 0, and this to 0, and we're going to set the tint down to 0 because I don't want anything to change. So if you want to see what you're doing on Mac and on Windows, you want to press O on the keyboard, and then boom, there you go. You can see everything you're doing. If you want to undo it, just press that, but what you did would actually be presented on that photo. So if you ever say, hey, you drew something over here, you drew something over there, you can actually, let's see, I draw over here too. Let's see. I think. Well, let's see. Boom. Do it again. All right. So now look, we got 2 dots. So the first dot is what I did, which is boom. It's gonna show that I marked here and I marked there. And again, like I said, you can press O on the keyboard. Again, just showing what you did. And then you can see over here, I did that. So in order to create 2 dots, I had to first click this first dot. The first dot I did was where I was drawing, and then I would click done. And then I would click the brush again, and that would open up a second dot. So say I'm just focusing on one area, which is the car. So let's go ahead and go over the car. As far as if you don't have the dot shown, make sure you come down here to show edit pins and have always and show selected mask. So if you click that, it's not going to show it. But if you click it, it's going to show it, and you can click on it again. I think no, you just press O. Just press O and it disappeared. But we're actually gonna Alright, so now we're gonna draw around the car, and this just helps you add the extra detail to your subject or whatever it is that you're focusing on. So boom, we're gonna draw around it. Go, go, go. And then you use the eraser tool down here, which is you got A, B. If you ever want to go back to your brush, just hit A. If you want to use the eraser tool just to shave out some edges, hit erase, and then like I say, change the size of your brush and just go along the edges just to get things that you don't want affected by the brush. And boom, go around it. See, it's touching the ground. I want to touch the ground. Size up the brush. All right. There we go. And we're gonna hit A just to get back to that brush. All right, everything, and then press O on your keyboard. Right. Of course, you don't see nothing done yet, but watch when I turn up the exposure. As you can see, the car is affected. Turn it down, the car is affected. Of course, you don't want it that high, that low. So I just turn it up just a notch, probably like 20 clicks. Then I play with the clarity, which adds more detail to the car. Look at that, beautiful. Now you got your very beautiful detail photo. If you want the background to be darkened, like I said, just hit done and then hit the brush again, and then boom, we can focus on the background now. So hit O on your keyboard just to see what you're doing. It's gonna be like a rough draw, so don't hold me for it. Hold that against me. So I'm gonna focus on the ground now. Like I said, I also have a LUT pack out now, and the link is in the bio. That's basically a black and white LUT, and as soon as you apply it, it does the effect for you. You can go in there and tinker with it and change anything you're around to your liking. It's honestly your preference. If however you want it to look. Now with the black and white, now some of the photos might be a little bit too dark, so then you have to go in here and play with the exposure. So I took it at a different time of the day, so that's the only reason why it'll be different maybe on your end. But like I said, if you just play with the settings, as far as exposure and shadows, you'll be fine. So now we have that, and then we're gonna play with the background. I'm gonna tone the background down just a little bit because I want the focus to be on the car. And we're gonna scale this down. It's very time consuming too if you're really focusing on like a client. I'm actually going to do a photo today with a friend, and I'll do another tutorial on how to edit with a person other than objects. But I think the best practice really is just like practicing on objects. That's how I got better, and I started actually using like friends and stuff like that to practice on them. We can just reach out to a model, and she's just like a beginner model, and just get the practicing on her. But yeah, so as you can see, I toned down the background. I made the car part more because that's what you're going to be looking at. You're going to be looking at the car. So as you see, that's a nice crystal clear image. Definitely use the clarity on the brush, of course. Now we're going to reset that, and we're going to throw my LUT pack up there. It's going to be over here. So you got the black and white. Well, that's one of my favorites, which is this. So this right here basically just grays out everything, but you see you have the headlights into play, and it just makes the car pop even more because the car is still the focus of this picture. So you have some things that are still lit up in the background, but mainly they're like grayed out, and that just adds that extra pop and characteristic to the photo. So yeah, moving forward, we're gonna work on this next photo, which I did right here for a group of friends out here at their ECU games playing football. As you see, I have the sky color change and got their tones and stuff mixed up, mixed well. Got the colors popping. Her shorts are actually blue. I changed the color of the shorts and the sky. So we're gonna reset this. This right here, I spent quite some time on it. So, like I said, play with the exposure. I always want to brighten it up just a little bit, not too much, because you don't want to get that grainy look. Add a little bit of clarity just to give it that extra pop. Saturation, like I said, gives you that cinematic vibe, gives you that dark feel. Some photos you really don't have to do that. You can actually, if it's too dark or too bright, let's just say it's too dark, you just kind of bring down the contrast, because that'll actually give it more of a natural look. This is how it looks, you know, fully down at a -100, but you know, I usually keep it at around, I say about 20. 20 be your best friend right there. 20, or if you're in a bright area, then you can, you know, crank it up, of course, to like 20 or 30 max. Now, as far as the skin tones, you want to play with the vibrance, like I said, or you can play with the saturation if you want more of a natural look. Play with the vibrance. See, we got this. I don't want their skin to be too orangey. See, if I play with the saturation, it just makes them orange. So I really rarely touch that. Just add about 2 probably. See another thing, the highlights. Like I said, back with the photo with the Mustang. See what the highlights does? Plays with the sky. Any bright area, it touches. Well, in this case, I'm actually going to probably keep it turned up. Another thing we can play with. You can play with the blacks too. It just affects anything that's resembling a black, like area or layer or shadows, whatever. That's always good to play with too. Like, you want to keep that at -22. Anything over here that you play with, you want to keep it at -20 or +20. But if it's like really dark, like I say, you can play with the shadows, and it just kind of you know, bring up certain areas that are dark. But I'm not gonna mess with the shadows. So now we're gonna focus on the colors. So we're gonna go down to hue and color. Sky is, I think it's blue. Yep. So boom. So you got the sky's blue. Change it to blue or purple, however you see fit. But I'm gonna keep it blue. Nice little cool color pop. I may actually make a LUT pack for this as well, but we're gonna just stick to this video for the sake of the tutorial. Let's see. Let's play with the saturation. That was blue. Let's crank it up. All right. Just give it more of a pop. Turn it down as well, so you can actually show the sky. You want people to not only see these people, but the sky, and you know, just give the picture more color and more of energy, more life. So let's see what else we can play with. Don't want to do any skin tones right now, but since we're doing the tutorial, might as well. Let's see. Alright, got that down compact. So when you're focusing on skin, you want to turn the clarity down. Now, playing with the clarity, just when you turn it up, the amount of detail you will get, turn it down, it's going to soften the image. So I'm going to use it to soften the image. And like I said in the beginning, make sure you hit O on your keyboard just to see what you're doing. Now you can do these individually, but me personally, since they're all the same complexion, I'm going to keep it the same. They all have the same skin tone, so there's no need to, you know, change it up. Just go ahead, give me a second. Alright. Nice belly rub. Bit. So cool. Play with that. Get the skins. Make sure we cover everything. Now it will be a little time consuming. I'm not gonna hold you guys. Depending on how detailed you want to be. Me personally, this is not like a paid for photo shoot, so I wouldn't worry about being too detailed on their skin and stuff like that, and making it stand out. But even with a basic edit, like, it will look great. But if you want to take out bumps and stuff like that, that's a whole nother genre. But right now, I'm just focusing on the brush tool and how to make your photos look great. We can do another tutorial if you guys requested on how to remove things out of your photo or off a person's face. So yeah, I got a great face as well. Alright. Bet. So we got that covered. So crank it up, you see how it looks? Terrible. Crank it down, softens their skins, turn up the exposure just a tad bit. Great. There's another thing you can do also. You can, play with her eyes and stuff like that, and use the brush tool honestly for anything. Brush tool is definitely your best friend. Let's see what else I could possibly do. I could brush the street, yeah. On your keyboard just to see what you're doing. Alright, give me a second. Alright, let's not only just focus on that side of the street, but the street as well. Well, we're not going to focus on that part. It's going to be a tight squeeze. And I'm going to use the erase tool just to get rid of that. Hit A on the brush tool. I'm going to actually try to squeeze that in there. And get in everywhere. So when you're using the brush tool, you can be very detailed about what you're coloring. Alright, so let's hit O on the keyboard. Let's turn the clarity up. See, the street has came to life. Turn that down too. However you see fit. Like I said, play with the contrast to add that darken effect to it, and then boom, there you have it. You have a nice color graded picture. You can see deer in the focus, but it's also just very colorful, very beautiful. Another photo with my LUT pack. More so focuses on the shoe. You see I have the red popping, and the rest of the background is yet again grayed out. And a simple edit, like I said, first I like to start with the clarity. Boom, turn that bad boy up. And let's see, also change the color of it, but we're not gonna do that. Let's just turn the clarity right back on up. Let's actually turn that down. See, as long as you follow the same steps that I have took, you're gonna be alright. So as far as the color goes, play with the vibrance, give you that nice gray look, or you can turn it up. And then if you want to change the color of the grass, just let's see, I think it would be green. So we can make the grass green. Then there, that's you a nice detail follow, just to post out there some good quality. If you want to know how to set your camera and you're a beginner and you don't know how to set your camera, I can give you a quick tutorial. Just let me know in the comments, man. Make sure you like and subscribe, turn on that post notifications, man. This is iLoveYourvisuals, man. Second tutorial right now on Lightroom. I got tutorials coming for Final Cut, so stay tuned for that. I appreciate y'all for watching. Again, make sure you turn on that subscribe, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, turn on the post notifications, man. I'm out. Peace.